one of the things that really peeve me off is value gifts. Like I have value on my gift, but one of the things I see in people is giving away free content, free things, free, and they're frustrated that no one's valuing what you're giving out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying you need to hand a Louis Vuitton, as I look over the shoulder and there's my new Louis Vuitton handbag. I'm not saying you have to be a Louis Vuitton and buy a Louis Vuitton at that price and do that, and do you value it more because it's a higher price. I'm just saying.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest, and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, dear Deb. Hello, dear listeners. Here
Hi.
Hey.
Yay!
I love having these conversations. I hope our listeners love us having these conversations too.
They're bloody better. Listen to Moira being really lovely, and then there's Deborah. Bloody better.
Here we are with another deliciously motivating mindset conversation. And like I said, I do hope that these help people maybe think of things in a wee bit of a different way, or have a chortle, have a laugh.
Have a turtle, did you say?
No, I said chortle. Chortle.
Oh, what?
Chortle.
Oh.
C-H-O-R-T-L-E. Chortle.
Oh,
that's
your. When you said have a turtle, I'm like, that's a new analogy.
We could have a turtle as well. Turtle is a
well?
chocolate here, actually. So you could have a turtle.
Really?
Well. Yeah.
Oh.
So
well, that's not what we're talking about today, but now that you know who we are.
Well, welcome. Before we get into our topic for the day, which of course, goes without saying, it's a goodie. But before we do that, we like to ask, we actually check in with ourselves and rate ourselves on a scale of 0 to 10. And we invite our listeners to do the same. And this is a tool to really help you get to know you, tap into what's going on for you, around you, in you, and how to navigate through. Because here's the thing, is that 0 is completely neutral. Everything's just perfect. You're feeling zen, peaceful in this present moment. And then the further up that scale you go, at 10 is chaotic. 10 is feeling stuck, like, oh my God, I don't know what to think, what to do, just feeling really overwhelmed and needing some help. And as Deb calls it, sitting in the corner with a brown cardi on.
Sucking your thumb, rocking a whole lot.
So my dear, where's the number for you? Where would you put yourself?
You know, we do this every podcast, and every time I go, oh yay, and we start, and then I'm like, oh damn, I've got to rate myself. Oh no, now I've got to think. But actually, Moira just threw a comment to me before, just Moira's going, what was that? And it just really threw me out of somebody. So I'm actually going to go a 1.5, because I'm still really like, really? It's actually like, that's where I'm sitting. So I'm sitting in a more confused state of I'm going to say a 1.5.
Oh dear. So I discombobulated you. I'm sorry.
No, no, it's great, because, you know, I love human behavior. So I'm left with, why would you do that? Why? So I'm more in a perplexed, more in a, this is really confusing state. More mine. My mind's racing but human behavior, always interests me, lights me up, makes me feel like I'm alive.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's actually why we have these conversations and why we both do the work that we do. Because I too am fascinated by it. Which, so for me, for my number,
you better ask you. What are you?
I was like, what am I? Well, it's really funny that you said 1.5 because as you were sharing or kind of assessing yourself, I'm thinking I am either a 1 or a 2 or a 1 or a 2 or a 1 or a 2, so I'm going to be a 1.5 also.
Copycat. I was the same. I'm like, am I a 2? Where am I? And I went, you know what? There is a thing called in between. It's called right. 1. I mean, as soon as I went 1.5, my shoulders went, oh yeah, and I went, oh, I know it. My whole body went, yeah, that's what you are. Yeah. And so we're both 1.5s.
We're both 1.5, but this is what we're saying, and we'll check in with you again at the end of our conversation. But like I said, I really encourage you to just pause throughout your day. Just check in. You could even just put your hand over your heart, take a deep breath, and just see where are you. And there's never a right or wrong. Like if you're sitting at a 10, that's okay, because that's where you are at that moment. Sitting at a 4 or 5, that's okay too, because that's where you are.
And it's okay to start here as a 3, and after it, you've gone to a 5.
Yep.
And the reason I say that is sometimes I've done that. I don't know if you've ever done it. I do it occasionally, more often than not, because I then go, oh, that's a great one. Now I'm going to do an analogy on that. Now I'm going to investigate that further. And I go down that path. So it's okay to go from a higher number to a lower number, and it's okay to go from a lower number to a higher number. But just check in where you're at.
Absolutely. And I like what you just said there, though, is that because sometimes when we have these conversations and you think, oh gosh, there's another rabbit hole I have to go down, and I have to figure that out and assess that and check that out. Sometimes just viewing it is enough to say, okay, I visited it and now I can let go and I'm floating down towards that 0 again. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's the same as when you're in a pickle and you to a friend or you reach out to your mentor or something, and you just reaching out, you just feel like, even just sending that text or that message or email, I feel so much better. And that's all part of that as well.
Absolutely. And I've actually had that interaction with quite a few clients over the years where they literally write something in an email and they don't expect me to write back. It's just that knowing that Moira's going to see this, that's it. It has no effect on them anymore. They released it, let it go. So absolutely.
Yep.
But saying all that, this topic, this is I think that this is part of why I was bouncing around between a 1 and a 2 as well, is so we're going to talk about, do you value your gifts? I think this is such an important one. And I think there's a lot of different ways and avenues we can go down on this one. But why don't you start us off with this, Deb? What does this? How does this sit for you, and what does it mean to you?
Let me clear my throat. Let me put my shoulders back and slap on my red lipstick and just say it. One of the things that really peeve me off is value gifts. Like I have value on my gift, but one of the things I see in people is giving away free content, free things, free, and they're frustrated that no one's valuing what you're giving out there. Now, I'm not saying you need to hand a Louis Vuitton, as I look over the shoulder and there's my new Louis Vuitton handbag. I'm not saying you have to be a Louis Vuitton and buy a Louis Vuitton at that price and do that, and do you value it more because it's a higher price. I'm just saying, do you value your gifts enough to put $1 value on it? That is not an excuse to say, well, everybody needs my content. Everyone needs this, so I want to give it away free. Now, we know we do these podcasts for free. We know that. And I don't have a problem doing this for free because I know it's helping somebody. So do I put a price on my gifts? Absolutely I do. But there's things that I do that can be seen as it sounds a bit tacky, a giveaway or a freebie or whatever I don't even know what they call them in the marketing world. Like, it doesn't bother me. I love showing up for these to talk to Moira about and having conversations about challenges that people can resolve and move on from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's free, yes. But do you value your gifts enough that you look after it, that you share it to an audience that value in return?
Right.
Would be my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have known that when people turn up to courses or something and it's free, they register, and maybe you only get 50% turn up. Whereas, because it is a free event, they just go, oh, just sign up and, oh, it's fine, I don't need to go to it because it's free.
That's right.
Whereas, oh my God, I do need to go to this because this is what they're going to talk about and this is what I'm going to get from this. So I definitely want to go. Oh, how much did you pay for your ticket? Oh, I got it for free. Oh, you don't need to go. Someone will say, oh, no, I do, because I want to go because of this, and this. So it's just a whole thing of, and Dr. John DeMartini talks about fair exchange. What's the fair exchange that you're going to get from this, that you're giving, and fair exchange back?
Mm-hmm.
I did an Instagram course the other night that was an hour and ended up being 2 hours, and it was a free course, and I loved it, and I got a lot of value. And
cool.
For me, my fair exchanges, I've promoted her and said to people, these are the tips, and given them out, and this is who it's come from, and just a little different. So she valued her gifts to give us 2 hours of our free time, of her free time to do. Yes, she's going to get people to sign up to her product or whatever it was. She didn't actually promote her product at all, but it felt like there was fair exchange, and all the people on the call were engaged and present and learning things, and that was really inspiring for me.
That's awesome. And I think
there's a lot I've just thrown at you, Moira.
Yeah, you have, and I'm like, OMG. Well, actually, and this is funny because dear listeners, Deb has scolded me on more than one occasion. Because I do tend to give a fair bit of free content, and so sometimes you can get into this place of giving and giving and giving, and then of course then people expect it, and they like you're saying, they might sign up for a freebie or a free session with me. Actually, it's really interesting. Somebody did sign up for something just this last week, and she never showed up. It was a one-on-one with me, and she never showed up. And I thought I could email her and say, you missed your appointment or something. And I thought, no, she doesn't value the gift of having a session like that. Then I value myself enough to say, I'm not investing the time in chasing you up. So I think that's a really important part. But do you know, I want to take this concept into a different area as well. I get the thing about valuing your gifts means charging what it's worth, and that is an ongoing thing. It's something that I've worked in my own professional capacity for years of owning how much, what is the ticket price, what is the fair amount. Because when I look at the gifts that I've cultivated and the skills that I've created, I've invested a lot, not just monetarily, but energetically.
Well, so's your husband. So's your husband. Yeah.
Yep. But here's the key piece that I see, and I know this is something that I work on in my own self too. When we really value our gifts, we recognize that we have our own unique gifts. I have skills that are uniquely mine. I have a certain way of doing things, of showing up as a service provider. So somebody might come to me with a big problem, and I help them, unpack it and give them some solutions and some tools and maybe some audios, and they walk away with this new toolkit, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
when we value our gifts, we open ourselves up to receiving the monetary payoff, as well as the acknowledgement,
Fulfilling.
the feeling, the gratitude, the appreciation. Do you know there's a mentor that I worked with? Gosh, this is almost 20 years ago now. But my response, anytime a client or a student came and said, "Oh, thank you, Moira, I so appreciate what you taught me or what you did for me," and my pat answer would always be, "Oh, no, it wasn't me, it was you."
Yeah.
Right? Because to me, that is what my skill set is to wake up the inner healer within the client, or wake up the inner wisdom to bubble up to the surface. And so this mentor of mine said, "You're doing these people a disservice when you put it off completely, because they need to have the gift of bestowing the appreciation on the person or the vehicle that gave them that." It taught me a big lesson on this whole idea of valuing my gifts. You know?
See, even that one, because I'm just going to jump in here and say, people say the same, "Oh my God, you're amazing. Thank you so much. I wouldn't have looked like that." And I'm like, yeah, but you get up. And I want to acknowledge them because they showed up and did the work. I definitely gave them the vehicle to jump in and help them. But I want, my thing is, my desire is for them to have an idea that they still played a role in it. Yes, I definitely helped, and thank you for that. But you know what? You showed up.
Yeah.
You made the first call. You came into the call, then you listened to what I said, took it, and so I want them to acknowledge that they also played a large role in their healing or whatever you want to call it, and their way of moving forward. And so how do you say that? Because but even do you value your gifts? I'm just thinking of the same old thing when someone says to you, "Oh, that's a beautiful dress," and you go, "Oh, I bought this the other day for 50 cents," or "I bought this the other day on bargain." Like, why do you have to say, "Oh, I got this in an op shop," or whatever? Like, and it's usually those beautiful dresses that you do buy in a cheap freaking sale that people go, "Oh my God, you look stunning," and you're like, "Oh my God, I only paid $5 for this," or whatever. But why do we say that? Because we're not valuing what we have right there and then. We're completely dismissing, but we want to have, I find we do it because we want them to be on the same platform as us, and say,
"What do you mean? What do you mean by that?"
So when someone goes, "Oh my God, that's a beautiful dress," in my mind, I go, "Oh my God, this old thing, I bought this for $5 a couple of years ago at a whatever."
Right.
And instead of acknowledging that, so it just goes, "Oh, I'm not above you. I'm just like you."
I see what you're saying. But at the same time,
that's not valuing. Yeah.
But at the same time, and similar to what I was saying to you about that mentor of mine sharing that, is that you're devaluing you because maybe you did look ravishing in that dress.
Yeah.
So you're devaluing you, but you're also kind of just dusting them off, where people love to uplift another person's spirits or say, "Wow, that's gorgeous," right?
Well, I do compliment people, and I do, and it's quite funny. And my partner says, "God, you've just made someone's day." And I'm like, "How?" She, like one day, this woman, and she must have been 90 years old, and she walked past, and she had this most extravagant lipstick, and it was a fuchsia. And I stopped, and my mouth dropped open, and I thought, "Oh my God, and she owned it."
Good for her.
She owned what she was wearing. And I looked at her with my mouth open, and then I realized what I was doing. And I said, "Excuse me, but you look freaking fabulous." I said, "I love that." My partner kept walking. "You look amazing." And she went, "Oh, thank you." And then she just looked at me. She said, "What part of me looks amazing?"
Oh, wow.
She's really, and I
really
went,
owning
"Oh my
that.
God." I know. And I was like, "Oh my God, I would never say that. Like, I would like you, mate." But she went, "What part of me looks?" And I said, "Just the way you carry yourself, the way you look. That lipstick is phenomenal on you." I said, you just ooze amazingness, fabulousness." And she goes, well, thank you. She says, I'm going to take that and I'm going to enjoy my day. Have a lovely day. Now, she didn't compliment me back. She just really owned who she was. She then went, what specifically? Love, tell me what it is. And she took more of my, because I was just like, I've got a bright dress on today. She just had this color lipstick, and you just don't often see a 90-year-old wear this extravagant, and she owned it so much that she said, what part of me?
I love that.
And I thought I've never heard anyone say when someone goes, oh, you look lovely. Oh, what part looks lovely? Yeah. Like she really went, I'm taking this compliment.
Yeah. And making it my own.
And
I went for her.
I know.
Do you think it had something to do with the fact that she was 90-year-old?
Yeah, probably because she's had
because she's so confident and so in herself. Like,
well, a 90-year-old wearing that lipstick anyway is enough to go. Yeah, exactly.
That definitely needs to be acknowledged.
Yeah, but I love that she just grabbed it more and as if to say, I know I do, but what do you like about me? And I was like, what? And when she said it, I was really like, God, no one ever said, like when someone goes, thank you for doing what you do to you, you go, oh, it's okay. And I say, oh, you showed up and you did this, instead of going, what specifically? Let's get clear.
Yeah. What was it you appreciated the most?
So I tell you what, did she value her gifts? Bloody oath.
Absolutely.
She valued her gifts and more, and made me get present and actually explain what it was, and not just say, look at you.
Yeah.
She really owned it. And I learned a lot from that moment. And I came back and I talked about it with my partner in the car. She said my partner was coming back and just saw her again and just grinned. And she would just look radiant, and
awesome.
It was just, and we giggled, and I said, well, she said that. And she went, did she? I was like, yeah. And she was like, do you ever have, and I was like, no. And it really, so it was me taking in her question right back to make me get certain and clear. But then I told my partner. So she's then going, okay, so if someone asks me something, I'm going to ask them, like I'm going to either choose to say this or not to make people.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
But it was another learning lesson as well that got past filtering on.
Absolutely. But you said something interesting when you were sharing that story, that she didn't turn around and compliment you.
No.
And I think that's awesome, because
that's what I think that's what we've brought up to. When someone says something nice to you, you go, oh, it's like, but you look lovely.
Yeah, you've got a beautiful dress on too. Like, I remember somebody doing that to me, because she was wearing, this is at a yoga festival, and there's this woman, she was like in this goddess type
purple.
Actually, no, it was white, but
oh, okay. Thought it'd be purple.
It would have definitely been a magnet for me if it was purple. But it was so funny because I complimented her. I said, so because it was stunning. It was really gorgeous. And she then wanted to compliment me, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm in a t-shirt and leggings, and I'm saying you've got this gorgeous goddess draped. Do you know what I mean? And so it was like she couldn't receive that, and then had to get awkward and start saying something.
And then that's unattractive. It takes away the glow of what she looked like instantly.
Yeah,
it's one of the things I taught my daughter is, sorry, boys. One of the things I taught my daughter is, even if they say I love you to them, you don't have to say I love you back.
Yeah.
Don't take away love for you. Don't feel obligated to say it. Like someone goes, oh my, I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, you can say thank you.
You don't have to
if
say, I
feel
love you
it-
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And she was like, someone said that to her when she was young. I love you. And Sophie's like, oh, thank you. And they're like, aren't you going to say it back? She's like, what? And then Sophie's left with, why would I say it back? Mum taught me never to say it back. Like, wasn't never, Sophie, just for the record, if you happen to be listening. Wasn't. But I mean, this is exactly it. These are the little things, is take that compliment and allow it. Or you can do the old ladies thing is, what specifically do you love about me? Let's just open this up. Let's just take a little bit more of that glitter that you're going to throw at me. Give it.
Yep.
But it's those little things. And that woman, that older woman, she valued her gifts. She valued who she was, so much so that she extended that conversation.
And that's just so beautiful, because you see, I think that this is the foundational part to what we started off talking about. The valuing your gifts was equated to how much are you charging for your services or your products. But this is the fundamental part, is the recognizing, like that 90-year-old woman, I've got this sparkle, I've got this beautiful gift,
I've got this.
I've got this. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm going to shine it into the world. I'm sharing it. That's what we're all called to do, I believe, in this life. And then the rest takes care of itself. Right? We're all here to share our gifts.
My daughter used to say to me, do you have to compliment everyone? And I'm like, I don't. But I know if I go out or I go for something and I have exceptional service, and I'm not talking about Joe average service, I'm talking about someone who goes, not waits till you've filled your mouth and then goes, is the meal's okay? Like, okay, clearly it's okay. I've got my mouth full. But, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people who feel like, it's like they've gone over and above, which is, in reality, they're just doing their job, but service and certain things have gone down. But when they do that sort of stuff, you just go, thank you. Thank you so much. I had a great meal and the waitress was amazing, or the waiter was amazing, or I love the way we didn't know what to order and the waiter gave us some suggestions. I like to compliment that, because I find this world doesn't get enough compliments. And it's not to give that person a big head, but actually it's just to say, I acknowledge you and I value you.
Yeah.
And I think do I value their gifts? Absolutely, because I acknowledge them. And I'm not saying you have to go around and acknowledge everybody. Yeah, but it's just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, now I'm older, there's certain restaurants I won't go to because of the service or something. But I do find we complain more and more over complimenting, where instead of saying, wow, thank you very much, we go, oh, did you, reviews. Not often do people put reviews on Google or wherever to say, oh my God, I went to this place and it was amazing. They go, oh, I went there and the waiter was crappy and this and this, and then you just go, oh, well, I won't go there. Now, a review is one of the worst things ever for a place, because that, you don't know that person didn't turn up because there's been chaos at home going on and they still had to get there and do this, and and they may have forgotten to bring your bread and you had to ask twice. Like, seriously, there's something going on.
Does not deserve being slammed on.
And so I think of that stuff. So do you value your gifts? I value mine, and I definitely value others if I see something or you get exceptional service. I went and had my eyes tested recently, and I thought I got great service at the last place, but this lady was exceptional and she just explained so much more. And I took it all in and I was like, oh, wow, you explained in a level, not a medical term. You explained in real simple term that I got.
Right.
And I said, oh my God, you know this stuff. And she says, I love doing this. I love seeing your face light up when I tell you something. And that's what she was like, I love seeing your face light up when I tell you something and you understand it. She said, that's what I love doing. And I just thought, do you? Yeah. And I'm like, well, it shows. I said, you've got to do more of it. That's all I'm saying. I just, and that's the glory of having somebody who, she values what she does.
Right.
And that has nothing to do with money exchange or anything. Well, clearly there's money being exchanged at that time. But that was just because she said, I love seeing people light up when they get it.
Yeah. And that's, and I'm speaking for myself, that is what drives the work that I do. And I'm sure it's the same for you. It's that I love people creating a self-care routine that helps them feel so calm and at peace and ease. I love it when people come in and say, oh, I don't know what it is you do, but I feel so aligned with my own core, or I get the messages.
That's just your voice. For a start, that's your voice and the energy you hold, but everything, that whole, I know if I'm in any frazzle when I get on that start of our podcast at 7 a.m. In winter, 9 a.m. in summer in my house, but it's fine. 7 a.m. And I just know no matter what, if I've had a crap sleep or anything, within a minute, I feel at ease.
Yeah.
My worries disappear.
Yeah.
And there's no strategy in it.
Absolutely.
But that is one of your amazing gifts.
That is my gift. And it's taken me quite some time to value it, because to me, it comes so easy. And so that's the key piece, right? It comes so easy. It's kind of like, what do you mean you have all these amazing things? Because all I'm doing is talking to you.
Yeah.
Right. So it is, and it's an important part, because that, it's your gift when it is that easy. Right.
Yeah.
And you know that from the work that you do too. Because you're like, oh, why didn't you think about it this way? Or what about this?
I do. I get to that and I'm like, how did you not pick that up, duh?
Yeah.
Okay. Moira and I are a little bit different in how we think, but not really. But that's exactly it. That is part of that, exactly it. It's like, oh, well, that's what I do naturally. When people compliment or say thank you so much, you're just like, God, it's so easy. You're easy, and it's funny. What I have tend to do is when people say to me, oh, I've got this problem, it's really big, and they tell me their problem, and I just actually want to say, oh my God, this is a walk in the park. And I go, okay, we can handle that. And I'm thinking, this is piss easy. This is one I didn't even have to think about. I didn't even I'm just like, oh, this is simple. What you've got is, but to them,
it's huge. Yeah.
It's 100% chaotic, rocking in the corner. Zero. There is no zero. There's a 10.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
And everybody has their own filter, their own way of assessing things. And to your point, I think it's really important for, even if we internally go, oh gosh, that's not a big problem at all. You would never say it to that person, because that's actually quite a judgment, right? Because then they might be going, oh, so my inability to get through this is because I'm not good enough, or because I'm Well, I actually often say to people, I say, oh, welcome to the world of human. Humanville, you're human. I'm sorry to say it, but you're normal. Sorry to say it, you're human. Like, I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be human. But, okay, that's really common, but there's different strategies we can work on, though. And it is true, and it's how you can handle it. But it's everyone has a gift. And the moment you acknowledge that, there's so much fulfillment you as a person can get. Absolutely.
From acknowledging it, seeing it, nurturing it, massaging it, sprinkling it in glitter, whatever. Appreciating
it, putting a big purple bow around it.
Yeah, and building from it. Yeah, you're definitely. Yeah,
if we're doing Deborah's glitter, we have to have my purple bow too.
Yeah, purple bow and glitter, and then that's exactly it. It is part of that.
But it's also, like I said, about, like you said, every one of us has a unique gift, and in the grand scheme of things, every one of us have kind of signed up for this experience, this life experience, to say, I'm going to bring this piece. It's like we're all showing up for a potluck supper, and each person has to bring their.
That's a great analogy,
isn't it?
That's a fabulous analogy. That's I can see that, though. I get that. Yeah. What are you bringing? What are you bringing to the dinner? What are you bringing to the table? Well, we say that actually, bring to the table.
Yeah.
garlic bread.
That's funny. That used to be what I was nominated for always, was the garlic bread.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I opened the fridge this morning and went, oh, there's garlic bread in there. Oh, I'm going to have that for lunch. Just a whole thing of garlic bread on my own. Oh, not going anywhere.
Don't have to see anybody.
But yeah, that's the one. So I think the thing here is be okay with your gifts. Yes. Don't compare your gifts to anyone else. You know, I hear people who go, oh, so-and-so copied my content. So-and-so copied this program I did. They took the name, and I'm like, well, the name's genius. I would take your name too, because that's a great name for, some titles. But they're never going to deliver it like you.
Nope.
And even if they deliver it their way, which they're going to, they're going to get people who resonate with them and not you. So this whole copying other stuff is already a challenge as it is. So value your gifts, stay in your lane.
Yep.
Don't compare yourself to other people, and just love what you do would be.
Love what you do. And then to go back to Deb, your example about somebody complimenting you on your dress, and you go, oh, this ratty old thing, or oh, I just paid 50%.
Or actually, hang on, I'm just going to say the other funny thing is when you say you wash your hair that day and people go, oh my God, your hair looks amazing. What have you done? And you're just like, I've washed it. And then you think, oh my God, has it been that bad? I hate that one. Everyone goes, oh, your hair looks amazing. And it's actually not that your hair looks amazing. It's because you own it, because you've actually washed your hair and you've done something. So it has nothing to do with your washing your hair. It's your whole energy is like, oh my God, I've actually done my hair. I feel great myself.
Exactly.
So I just have to say that it's not about, I just washed it. I need to wash it more often.
That's well said, because that's comment is almost like a snide comment. It's kind of like a poof, right? Of like, oh,
well, the lady in the lipstick, if I said to her, you look fabulous, and she said, oh, really? Or, oh, I just washed my hair. Well, it actually wasn't about your hair. Or, oh, I just put these frumpy clothes on. Oh, that's nice to hear because I've had a bad sleep. Like, there was none of that. It was like, oh, what? Yep. Give me more, throw more glitter on me. Like, I was like, what? No one says that. Okay, righto, let me give it to you, love. She was definitely, I'm all for that praise. I'm all for everything.
But I think that would be such a beautiful thing for everybody to start kind of embracing. Like, pause, breathe in the appreciation or the compliment, because it boosts your worthiness. It actually helps you align with, that little sense of lifting up in my chair here going, oh, thank you.
Well, next time she goes to put that lipstick on, she's going to remember that.
That's right. Yeah.
And she may be disappointed nobody sees her and acknowledges her lipstick, but she is still feeling fabulous. Exactly. And I think, just before we wrap up, I just would love to say, you talked about the lady in the beautiful white outfit, and, and she complimented you back, and you would have lost respect for her.
I felt uncomfortable. You would have gone, oh. I felt uncomfortable with what she said, because it's like I wasn't looking for compliments. Like I said, I had a yoga shirt on and leggings. It's like, well, yeah.
And no comparison. So when she said that to you, you no longer sat in that amazing bubble of, oh my God, look at her, she looks amazing, I'm going to compliment her. You then went, oh, I feel yuck myself. Why are you even saying that? And you'd so self-doubt, and your mind would race, and it would take it away from the glitter sparkle of that interaction that you went to her over.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's actually very, very valid. And but even a little bit kind of cheated almost, because I just wanted to
ripped off.
Yeah, because it was like, no, this isn't about me. It's about me saying, look, you're gorgeous. That's awesome. Right? Value the gift.
Yes. Wow. We could just keep talking, everybody. Well, Deborah could. So could Moira in her soothing voice.
Absolutely.
But we have we're gonna share our gifts further on our next podcast. We don't know what our next podcast title is, but I'm sure Moira does. Well, Moira will know, because I don't use Google
I have
Drive.
the list here.
Anyway, that's the main thing. So I value her gifts enough to delegate it and let it be. So let us know, people, if you were a 0 or a 10 to start with, where you're at now. I would love to know what insights you got from today. Share them on our page, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy. That will be very valuable. Thank you. So we have some insights ourselves. And Moira.
Yes.
Moira, you're a 1.5 to start with. Where are you now?
I'm at a 0.
I know where you'll be. You'll be the same as me.
I'm
Yeah,
a 0.
same.
Same.
This is not the conversation I thought we were going to have when I knew the title. I love that. I love that it starts and goes and
Meanders
around the racetrack we go, and we end up at somewhere. Yeah, that's it. And we do the infinity, and here we are again.
Yep.
So we are both at a 0. We moved from a 1.5. I want to thank the listeners for joining us today, and thank you, Moira, for our deliciously motivated mindset conversation.
My pleasure.
And we will see everybody next week. Thank you very much. And thanks, Moira, for your
Thank you, dear Deb. Today. Thank you, listeners. And as always, if our listeners need any help or insights or support, please get in touch. Bye-bye.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.